The following is a paid program, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent the opinions of the management of this station or Pamel Broadcasting. And the views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers of this program are solely their own. They do not represent or reflect the views, policies, or official position of ACA, its affiliates, or its staff. ACA does not endorse any statements made during this broadcast. This is 1 in 31 Autism Today, a presentation from Anderson Center for Autism. 1 in 31 Autism Today is a weekly show devoted to autism spectrum disorder.
Good morning and welcome to 1 in 31 Autism Today, the weekly podcast on topics related to autism spectrum disorder. I'm your host, Eliza Bozensky, Chief Development Officer with Anderson Foundation for Autism. And on behalf of Anderson Center for Autism and Anderson Foundation for Autism, we are thrilled to welcome our guest today, Alex Astrella. Alex is founder and CEO from Blue Star Productions, and we're going to hear all about that. So welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. I was doing a little work, like looking into your website, which is great. We'll say this a few times throughout the show, but it's Blue Star Productions, and that's blue without the E. So it's BLUSTAR Productions.com. And there's a lot of information there about you, your team, sort of about you and about the production company, as well as your mission, and then some really great features of work that you've done. And so we're going to get into all of that throughout this conversation, but I want to throw it to you, Alex, and tell us a little bit about yourself and tell your story. How did you get to this point?
Yeah. So again, thank you for having me. So I started Blue Star Productions. Well, to go back even farther than that, I was diagnosed with autism when I was 2 years old in UCLA in Los Angeles, and was told that I wouldn't be able to really function independently later in life, or be able to hold a job, things like that. And I got ABA services for 5 years because my parents were like, no, that's not going to be the case. We're going to ensure that he has the best future possible. It was kind of during those 5 years of ABA that not only did I learn so much, but I also developed this passion for film after sessions, watching movies with my mom, specifically after my ABA. My mom called them babysitters, because at the time came over.
So you were 2, 3, 4, 5 years old?
Yeah, it was like from 2 to 7. So about, like around that range, like 3 to 4 or 5.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of kids movies at that time. And I just developed an affinity for film. And fast forward to when I was getting my undergraduate and surpassed expectations at UC Santa Barbara, I decided I wanted to be a producer and not a consumer of film. And so that's what led me to before finding my company, I started making documentaries as a producer and director. And so at that point, I was kind of at this crossroads. I was doing documentary, and I was also, ironically enough, giving ABA services as an RBT, because I just realized at that point in my life after college, like how profound of an impact it had on me. And it just kind of started as a side gig, and I really enjoyed it. It led me to pursue my master's at Vanderbilt in special education. And it was at that point that I founded Blue Star Productions, because I wanted to mesh my passion for film and working with in the special needs community together. And excuse me. And that's what happened. So, it's been for almost 4 years now that I've had Blue Star Productions, and our mission is to really empower and employ neurodivergent adults through our various media initiatives. And we started out just producing my own films, but now we're helping co-produce other films, in addition to launching our first film festival later this week. And I still create my own content and documentaries as well.
Well, there is a lot there, Alex. It's great information and cool story. I'm going to take you all the way back to the beginning of it. Do you remember when you were watching those movies as a young child who obviously was given and your parents given a pretty dire diagnosis that you not, let me be clear. I don't mean autism by that. I mean, whatever came along with that, telling your family that you were not going to be able to work or, maybe get degrees and things like that. So that it's unfortunate when people put that much of a stamp on things so early in life. But you talked about watching movies after the sessions with your ABA therapist. Was there a movie in particular that you remember that really like spoke to you or was your favorite? And if so, do you have any sense of what it was about that particular movie that you loved so much?
There were a lot, honestly. It's kind of hard because it was fuzzy at that time, and I watched so many. But I mean, a few definitely stand out. The Land Before Time,
Yeah,
for those that remember, the Iron
great.
Man. Those ones just really, even though they're animation, it kind of like transported me to another world. And I found that as I got older, those I'd say two are kind of the pivotal ones. Also, later on, once I was like seven, Fast and Furious too.
Yeah.
But when even though those movies were animation, like it just transported me again to another world, and that continued even when I was watching films today. When I might be a bit more critical now because of my own filmmaking chops. But yeah, I'd say like those two, Iron Giant and Land Before Time, are really pivotal and just showing me that like again, like I could go somewhere else temporarily and everything, all the stresses, all the tiredness from the ABA sessions kind of went by the wayside, and I was just even watching it at home, just kind of went to another place. It was really special.
Yeah, that's great. So you had an immediate, like early age positive association in terms of how you were feeling, maybe after a stressful session or just, maybe a lot was being asked of you and then decompressing with a film. Land Before Time to me is like such a classic. And I watched it obviously with my kids growing up and things. So I can relate to that for sure.
Mhm.
And so you said you sort of developed this affinity for film, but at the same time, when you went to school, you got involved with becoming an RBT, which for those of you who may not know is a registered behavior technician. It can, for a lot of people, be a pathway towards getting their certification in applied behavior analysis, starting to work with people and provide ABA therapy. So I know at Anderson, we have a track for RBTs. A lot of our direct support professionals get certification as RBTs as well. So it's a really helpful, newer type of opportunity for a career. So, what is it about film now, as opposed to when you were a younger kid, that is like, do you have a favorite aspect of it? Is it the storytelling? Is it the helping others have a place to go to decompress, to get, to visit a different place kind of in their minds and in their imaginations? Or is it have more to do with like the use of film to explore serious topics or like make things more accessible? What is it that you think is the most powerful thing that you appreciate about your work right now?
I think kind of the last point, like, working, it just so happens it wasn't the intention, but it's just kind of been thematic across my own documentaries that we've worked with a lot of marginalized communities, and that was part of the reason why I founded Blue Star to, again, help the marginalized community that I'm part of. But yeah, I think it's been so powerful with my own documentaries especially being on set and talking to the subjects. We work in my previous films, we worked with inmate firefighters, inmate dog trainers, my family friend who's a surgeon with polio, just other subjects. But it's just really so powerful, like the stuff that's obviously on camera, but the things that are off camera as well, like hearing their stories and really getting to connect with them on a deeper and personal level that makes it so worth it. And that's really kind of the core of it. Like I love being on set. I love, again, building the relationships with these topics and hearing their stories of perseverance, really, whether that be through the interview or after, when it's not on camera. I love working with my crew as well and getting to,
Yeah.
again, it's kind of like being in the movie theater when I'm working with as a director, when I'm working with my cinematographers, or I'm working with my sound people, I kind of go somewhere else for a bit. I kind of am transported, and I lose track of time. Like, oh man, we're like, my producer is telling me like, hey, we got to wrap, dude. I'm like, man, I didn't even know it was 5 o'clock or the end of the day. So,
Well, I
yeah.
think that when you're passionate about something and when you truly enjoy what you're doing and it's so genuine and real, I think that happens to a lot of us. So I get that. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, I want to make sure we touch on at least two topics. One being you being and Blue Star Productions being an employer of neurotypical people and people with all sorts of disabilities or identify as being, having a disability, and the purpose behind that. As well as Extraordinary Character, which is a project that I think you want to talk to as many people who will be able to listen as possible about. Sounds really exciting. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll get into those two things. This is 1 in 31, Autism Today, and I'm your host, Eliza Bozensky. We'll be right back.
To every referee, umpire, and judge in high school sports, we want to say, we see you.
We see everything you do for us that goes unnoticed.
We see the positive role models that you are.
We see the way you get unfairly criticized just for doing your job.
The truth is, we couldn't play without you.
So thank you for investing your time in us.
Thank you for protecting the integrity of the game, no matter what.
We hope you always know how much we appreciate you.
Because without you, this is just recess. It's not really a game.
Thank you for always making it possible for us to play the sports we love.
Want to serve the students in your community? Sign up to become an official in New York at highschoolofficials.com.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can cause a life-threatening reaction. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready-to-act.
The key to unlock the next breakthrough in life-saving cancer research could be sitting in your driveway. Stand Up to Cancer's vehicle donation program makes it easy to turn your unwanted vehicle into funding to support innovative cancer research. These innovations lead to better cancer prevention, diagnosis, and treatment, which means we can help save lives right now. Cancer affects all of us. Today alone, 5,370 people in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer. It will take all of us standing up together to put an end to it. So when you're looking to get rid of your old car, truck, motorcycle, RV, or boat, why not donate it to Stand Up to Cancer? Donating is easy and tax deductible. We'll even tow your vehicle for free. You can be a driving force in cancer research. Donate your car today. Visit standuptocancer.org/cars to learn more.
And now, 1 in 31, Autism Today, continues on 100.7 WHUD. This is a weekly community affairs presentation from the Anderson Center for Autism.
Welcome back to 1 in 31, Autism Today. I'm your host, Eliza Bozensky, Chief Development Officer with the Anderson Center for Autism. And I'm talking with Alex Astrella, who is the founder and CEO of Blue Star Productions. And that is Blue Star without the E, BLUSTAR Productions.com. There's a lot of information on your website, Alex. That's why I want to get it out to everybody listening. So at the end of the first half of the show, I mentioned that I know that you employ on your team, right? You employ a lot of individuals who identify as having a disability, either, neurological or otherwise. I'm going to assume that that's purposeful, but I want to give you a chance to talk about it and, what is the feeling on set, for example, or in the office when you're, working together?
Yeah, so we kind of contract out with when we do our different productions or events. We will contract different neurodivergent employees to work on our various projects, and so most recently, for example, we've been setting up our Blue Star Film Festival, and we've had a lot of neurodivergent people that have helped put on the festival, whether that be helping create the poster. The poster was made by and commissioned by a neurodivergent artist. Volunteers who have set up the poster who are neurodivergent, and we've talked about kind of their attention to detail to where to put the poster in various parts of around the theater, and also on our most recent production, Extraordinary Character, as well. My cinematographer was neurodivergent. We had a couple of the grips and PAs who are neurodivergent. But it's really just the beginning, as we grow, and we're still a pretty small company. There's only 3 of us full time. But as we grow, and what's representative of those 2 initiatives I just talked about, we want to increase that representation. We're already proud of the workers we do have, whether it's with helping out like with the film festival or with the film Extraordinary Character. But it's already super cool having them on set, and being able to kind of share my own background and story to help kind of maybe make them a bit more at ease, and just letting them know that being in the ABA world myself now as a practitioner, I understand if there's any sensory preferences or sensory needs. And it's just been really awesome, and something that, was the mission when we founded the company, and something we're still really committed to. And yeah, it's just been an amazing experience getting to work to so many. And a lot of times too, like the neurodivergent individuals I work with will kind of give me these ideas I never would have thought of. So it's really, it's amazing on that end as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think creative process and collaboration, and also just this is how kindness is built upon, and accessibility is built upon, and awareness is broadened out, is by putting yourself out there and creating an environment where there's space for everybody. I've been talking to more and more people, especially in the arts recently. I've been talking to a lot of performers and other artists. I just talked to one of the performers from the Broadway production of How to Dance in Ohio, who was talking about her experience on that stage, and the fact that there were so many autistic performers, as well as backstage and everything. And it really did change the environment, which is often a stressful environment. It was still stressful. She made that very clear, but with a more of a sort of understanding of where somebody might be, and might be coming from in certain moments. It's very cool to hear that. I want to make sure we leave time. We've got about 5 minutes, and I want to talk about Extraordinary Character, because on your website, you can read about this. You can look at your crowdfunding trailer. But in addition to the film festival that you're getting ready to put on, Extraordinary Character seems to be a new project that you're looking to raise funds for and get the word out about. And I'll just ask you to explain why. What is this, and why is it so important?
Yeah, so the project's completed. We actually
Oh, you did it! Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, thank you. So we were fortunate. We have to update the website, I know, but we were fortunate to raise the funds to complete it, and it's a really special project to me. It actually had its world premiere about a month ago in Utah, and just to give a little example, most of my films, I'm always proud of the work that I complete, and especially when I get to do a film festival, seeing it on a big screen. But for this one, I saw it and I was just like, wow, like this is really. Usually, I get very nitpicky about my film, like my work. I'm still proud, but I'm like, oh, this could have been, this camera angle or this cut could have been better. And there were minor things with Extraordinary Character, but for the most part, I'm like, I feel like that was like probably like one of the best jobs we could have done. I was very, very proud of it. And so to get into the story of it, Extraordinary Character, the short documentary itself, features 10 different neurodivergent actors who did a theatrical adaptation of Stella Luna, and with the help of their theater director, who's plays a prominent role in the film as well. They did a school tour around the San Diego area of Stella Luna, and played in front of various schools. And it was just an amazing experience getting to document this, what in my mind is like the first time in the United States that the neurodivergent theater troupe has gone performing at different schools, something so cool. We got to interview Janelle Cannon, the author of Stella Luna, who's very connected to the neurodivergent population as well. And it was just an amazing experience working with each of the 10 actors and getting to spend a little more time with some of them and profiling their work in the film. And yeah, we're super proud of it. And it's currently, along with having our world premiere a month ago, it's currently being submitted to other film festivals across the world right now. So we're excited to see where it goes and its future trajectory.
That's great. Congratulations. I'm glad it was well received so far. Just when you were talking about being able to follow this troupe, this group of performers on their first tour, right, which was the San Diego area in front of schools. But I just got this image in my head of like, you get to see it as the filmmaker, but also documentarians get to see it sort of happening live while you're also capturing it on film for others to see. So that must have been a really cool experience that, like, I think I would have a problem with both roles. Like, I think that I would get so sucked into watching it myself in the moment happening that I might unfortunately forget about some job I have in terms of the filmmaking. But just when you were talking, I could see your face and you kind of lit up about how special that was. Was there an overwhelmingly positive reaction that you got to see from the schools, the people in the schools who were the audience for the performance while you were filming? Like, did the audience seem to really respond?
Oh, totally. Yeah. In the film, there's actually a couple parts where Sam Ginn, the theater director, she tells because of their neurodivergence, she tells the audience members, who are usually like elementary school children, to applause and ASL. And you could see them there. It's in the film. There's so many that are like genuinely applauding, not because their teachers are telling them, but because they're genuinely captivated by the actors, by the backdrop. And I actually got to, in the last theatrical play they did at the theater that put it on, I got to sit in the crowd and kind of do that exactly. I kind of take my mind off directing for a second and just really enjoy the play. And it was with a lot of families of the actors as well. And it was just so cool getting to see the genuine, the genuine interest and people who are just being present in the moment watching these actors. And I think that rubbed off on a lot of the children as well, watching and getting to talk to the staff members of the faculty afterwards too. They were just so thrilled that something like this exists and thankful that our crew was there to document it as well. So it was an awesome experience.
I think so much of what you're doing is so, again, when it's genuine and sincere and it's being created with a focus on, kindness and love and appreciation, I think it goes so far, especially with young kids. I mean, that's where you have to go meet them where they're at. So amazing. We really have virtually no time left, but I want to let you plug your festival. So I don't know when exactly this will air and when the festival will air, but you might as well put it out there. This is your first ever film festival, and where is it going to be and when? Yeah,
so it's the Blue Star Film Festival, May 2nd. So even if it airs after the date, check out the press about it.
Okay.
We're getting some cool publications, but it'll feature 10 different neurodivergent independent studios across the Southern California area that'll be showcasing their documentaries, animation, and narrative short films, and all produced and created by neurodivergent filmmakers. So it's Saturday, May 2nd in Santa Ana from 3 to 11, and also online as well. And we're really excited for it.
Well, congratulations, and we'll definitely put information in there about it, whether people can get there or just read about it later. But that's exciting, and congratulations to you. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Alex.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This was a great conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. This is 1 in 31 Autism Today. I'm your host, Eliza Bozensky, and remember, Anderson cares.
You've been listening to 1 in 31 Autism Today, a weekly presentation from Anderson Center for Autism. Join them for another edition of the show next weekend.